Welcome back. We're here with Marsha Abell and Jeremy Meeks, both Vanderburgh County Commissioner Republican candidates, and we're ready for our next question. Jeremy, township trustees are elected officials, so they answer to the voters. In light of recent events, there's a growing sentiment that there needs to be more accountability in local government. In your opinion, what responsibilities do the commissioners have in oversight and other elected officials, and more specifically with the township trustees?
Well, in that aspect of it right there with the money, and since there was the issue with the money, I would almost feel that that would be a county council. Where they're more of the budget process. They can keep a record of that, but I honestly don't know enough about the township governments to really talk about it. The only thing that I've heard here lately is there does need to be more accountability in that office. So,
Marsha?
Well, I think we need to look at our state legislators to put more responsibility on the township trustees boards to oversee what's going on in the township trustee offices to make sure that the things that Mr. Meeks was referring to doesn't happen again. But I think there's some other things that need to be done at the township level. There's discussion of whether or not we want to continue with this type government, and I think this type government is good for the people to be able to have someone that is a township trustee that they can talk to. What I do not think we need to be doing is continuing to spend the thousands and thousands of dollars that we are spending on offices that are away from the Civic Center when we have enough space with the old jail space that's vacant in the Civic Center now. All the township trustees could be in that one space, and that would cut back on our expenses drastically and give them more money to use for the things they're supposed to use it for, which is for fire relief, poor relief, funeral expenses for the people that pass away in their township. So I would be in favor of keeping the township trustees but relocating them to the Civic Center. And at the time this was set up, the township trustee offices, transportation was an issue. It's no longer an issue. Most anyone can get to Eastland Mall if they want to, and I'm sure they could make it to the Civic Center.
Okay. Marsha, there seems to be an increase in the number of city-county created nonprofits such as Gage and Evansville Brownsfields Corporation. These organizations receive county and city money. What role should these organizations play in the county, and what oversight do you feel needs to be in place?
This is an issue that I have long felt was so improperly handled. Anytime taxpayer money is used, an elected official should be responsible for that board. That's the only way the taxpayers can be assured that their money is going to be properly handled, because they can vote that person out. And all boards, in my opinion, and all organizations should have an elected official overseeing all the expenses and all the control. Then, if there is some impropriety going on, and we think that there is on different issues, that elected official has to answer for that. So I'm not in favor of taxpayer money being given to any organization that has full reign with their money and not any responsibility to report back to an elected official who should be an active member of that body making the decisions on where that money's spent.
Okay. Jeremy?
I think I can sum it up pretty easily. I know with our business, if we go to borrow money from a lending institution, we have to give that lending institution audited financial statements, and they need to be giving that the commissioners or whoever they're answering to an audited financial statement. So.
Okay. Great. Okay, Jeremy, we'll start with you on this one. With the constructing of new capital projects like the arena and a new North High School, many contracts and jobs are going to contractors outside of the city, county, and state. What's your opinion on that? What is your stance on the widespread use of out-of-town contractors, and should there be limits placed on that?
There should absolutely be limits placed on that, and not only limits placed on that, but I don't think that the people in Vanderburgh County would necessarily disagree with maybe even paying more if the money stayed in southwestern Indiana, and especially in Vanderburgh County, because that ultimately creates jobs and gets our economy moving. So I definitely have a problem with sending our money out of southwestern Indiana, and that's something that I am taking real issues with right now. So as with putting stuff out for bid, which is not happening in some consulting contracts right now that they're awarding, and large consulting contracts. So I absolutely would keep the money here in southwest Indiana as much as I could.
Marsha?
As I was downtown yesterday, and I noticed I didn't see any pickup trucks at the arena site with Evansville, Indiana written on the side of them, and I have a real problem with that. I think it's a very easy fix. We don't want to completely put out the process of out-of-town companies bidding on our projects, because we have companies in Evansville and in Vanderburgh County that bid on projects in other areas. They're large corporations, and they want to bid on projects in other counties, and they don't want to be mistreated by those counties. However, as we did on county council, you can give certain points to contracts to make them weighted heavier than other contracts based on different things that they do. So I would propose a point system that isn't just based on the cost of the project, but you would get a certain number of points based on the fact that you're an Evansville-based company and that the business would stay here and the tax base would stay here. There could be other things that could be brought into that would also assist our Evansville companies, such as the number of employees that they have that actually live in and work in Vanderburgh County, the number of employees that they have that are union, non-union. We can look at all of those things, but I think we can even the playing field much better by giving point systems and consideration to our local companies as opposed to just going with the low bid entirely.
Okay. And we'll be back after this.
We will.
I guess.